Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahi walhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. This is my first time in Lancaster. I didn't believe what I was going to see. I didn't expect to see what I saw. Firstly, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I found it to be a very peaceful place. Am I right? Yes. I found it to be very calm. I found the people to be relatively friendly. And the most important thing for me is when they told me that let's go to the masjid, we take a quick walk. So I realized the masjid is just nearby. As we walked through the peaceful streets of Lancaster, noticing the houses and feeling the vibe that it actually gave. And then I noticed a building with 2 chimneys. And I said, that must be the masjid. They said, yes, it blends in. And as we entered the premises of the masjid, I noticed an uncle, or I should call him a brother because I'm an uncle myself, with a bag of either fertilizer or something, serving the masjid by taking care of the greenery and the external garden of the masjid. And I told myself, it's only befitting that Allah Almighty grant him a garden in Jannah. If Allah Almighty tells us, whoever builds a house for me in this world, I will build for them a house in the hereafter. Man bana lillahi masjidan bana Allahu lahu baytan fil Jannah. I was impressed by the feeling that I got as I walked in here of peace and serenity on one hand, and the beauty of the environment on the other. I felt like I want to be a part of this masjid. I felt like the lighting was right, the greenery was just right, it was well manicured, that's the word. And it's been taken care of in a meticulous way. Walked into the masjid and I said, Subhanallah, Allahumma ftah li abwaaba rahmati. That's a dua to make when you enter the house of Allah. Oh Allah, open for me the doors of your mercy. So by coming into the masjid, what do I want? I want the mercy of Allah. Oh Allah, I'm coming into your house. Grant me the mercy of yours because I'm entering. Then you enter with your right foot. And I'm thinking to myself, the people here are really fortunate. You have to thank Allah. I walked into here, I came down those stairs and I'm looking at this. I say, Subhanallah, it might not be a massive masjid, but it's definitely beautiful. This masjid will bear witness on the day of judgment for those who frequented it, for those who came to it, for those whose foreheads have made sujood on these spots. So come to the masjid, frequent it. You know, life is so short. We're going to go back to Allah. Be from among those who frequent the masjid, and Allah gives you a VIP status on the day of judgment. You know, I fly a lot, and people ask me, which airline do you fly? So I tell them Ethiopian Airlines, and they are quite surprised. And I tell them sometimes Emirates Airlines, that's the second airline, and then we have Qatar Airways, right? These are some of the top airlines in the world. You may not know about Ethiopian, but because I come from Africa, when we fly within Africa, it is the most convenient airline to fly, and even beyond sometimes. But there is something I want to tell you. Have you heard of a frequent flyer program? They call it Skywards. Skywards because you're going to go up, take off towards the sky. So you're going skywards. And as you go up, the more you fly, the more points you clock. Listen to this because it's an example I thought of now while I'm sitting here. The more you fly, the more miles you clock. The more miles, the higher your status. You have a silver status, then you go to a gold status, then you go to a platinum status, and there is one above a platinum called an IO, That means invite only. That's one above platinum. They have only a certain number of people who have that. What are the perks of it? The highest perks of it is they receive you from door to door. They pick you up at the door of the aircraft and they make sure everything is done. You have a totally separate facility and that's it. You're a VIP. Some of you who fly a lot know what I'm talking about. We must give our number. When you're making a booking, hey, don't forget my frequent flyer number. It's a big deal. Why? I don't want to lose my points. I want to jump to gold. I'm almost gold. And sometimes I know of brothers, my friends, some of them, they're about to lose their platinum. They need one flight. For no reason, they'll catch a flight in order to maintain the status that I don't want to lose my platinum status. You're allowed a little bit extra baggage. Listen carefully because I'm drawing the parallel just now. You're allowed extra baggage. Normally you're allowed 2x32. You have a platinum card, you're allowed 3x32. Am I right or wrong? 3, they say, let it go. My brothers, my sisters, Allah has a frequent flyer program in a totally different way, in a higher way. We can't even call it frequent flyer. Frequent visitor of his house. When you come in here, your number is recorded. As you enter, you clock a mile, you go to silver status. How many prayers do you pray in his house? You clock gold status. You get to platinum, such that you become a person qalbuhu mu'allaqum bil masajid. Allah mentions it. The hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, the guy whose heart is stuck or hanging in or tied to or connected to the masjid, what does he get? Platinum status in our lingo. But in the eyes of Allah, it's called the shade of the Day of Judgment. If others are let into Jannah because there were a few things they may have done that were wrong, but they did predominantly good, Allah will overlook. There comes a time when with excess baggage, Allah will overlook. You're allowed one more piece. It's not in the same way as this. It's only a parallel. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. Allah's example is far higher. But I'm telling you, if we can do it for an airline, that means 0. Can't you do it for the Day of Judgment? Can't you do it for Allah? So the next time you fly out, the next time you mention your frequent flyer program, ask yourself, how many salah did I make in the masjid? What a facility. People came from overseas to tell you guys, Lancaster is something I never knew existed. I didn't. I heard of it long back. That's it, Lancaster. I seen it on the highway going to Carlisle and going to Glasgow, wherever. You see it, Lancaster. And you think, yeah, mashallah, Lancaster. Sounds nice. I've heard of it a few places. Never been there. What's there? Small community, they always say. Forget about small. It's quality over quantity. Agreed? Quality. Tell them small but quality. But there were 2 things I thought of speaking about. One was this point that I mentioned, that make use of this facility. Every time you come, you are winning. You clock tier miles. You get to a new level. You get to a level where you will not want to miss that point. You will come specially to the masjid in order to make sure that I maintain my platinum tier. You see how we draw the parallel? And then you become an IO, invite only. What's that? A caller will call on the Day of Judgment. Where are those who used to praise Allah upon all conditions? And they will come forth and they will enter Jannah first before everyone else. أين الذين كانوا يحمدون الله في السراء والضراء. Those who used to praise Allah upon all conditions, where are they? Where are those who used to do this? Where are those who used to do that? Are you from any one of those? If you are, good news to you, IO, invite only. You can't go into Jannah without what we call hisab kitab. You know what that means? يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ بِلَا حِسَابٍ وَلَا عَذَابٍ. Hadith speaks of 70,000 people in one narration, and there are so many others who will enter paradise without reckoning, no reckoning. So what you did, don't worry. Because Allah loved one thing you did, come to paradise for you. We don't want to know what you did. Come, enter. It's like you got a contact at the airport and you put your bags and you know it's a bit overweight. He said, don't worry, we know this guy. He says, you got anything else? Hey, short, small flight, you could have even paid for overweight. But when you have overweight on the Day of Judgment, there's no payment. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. Your wealth won't help you, your kids won't help you. What will help you is only your deeds. Build those deeds. Clock your miles. Get a status. Maintain it. Look after it. Don't waste your miles here and there. You're going to need it for the seat. When you have a lot of miles, you upgrade your seat from economy to business. How did you do it? How are you sitting in first class? They have a shower up in the aircraft nowadays. How did you get there? It must have costed 20,000 pounds. No, we are smart. We used our miles. Wow. Because you went frequently, you could do it. The same way you come to the masjid, you are smart. Come to make use of the facility, Allah will ask you. The second point I want to talk about. Togetherness and community affairs. Very important to be involved in positively. Many people involved in community affairs, but only to pick on the people and negatively. That's not involvement. That is picking on the community and those who are doing work. We want to involve in community to see how we can add value and make the people comfy when they come to the house of Allah. You have a program. You know, I was not supposed to speak today. This was probably planned after 5 p.m. today. I was coming to meet brothers whom I made Hajj with. And I thought, you know what, let's visit them. We made Hajj together. We spent some beautiful time together. Brother Qasim and the others, mashallah. And so he said, what time will you come? And when we said the timing, he said, it'll be close to Maghrib. Will we make Maghrib? I said, why not? A few words in the masjid, why not? And it happened. But I meant to come next month. Inshallah, I will be here with Abdullah Aid, because I belong to a charity known as Abdullah Aid. I'm the ambassador of that charity. So we are still coming next month, inshallah. We'll see all of you again and give you a longer talk. Today I thought 10 minutes is max, inshallah. Bonus, maybe 12 minutes. I won't go beyond that, inshallah. I know I'm almost there already. But I want you to make use of the community you have. Be a good member of it. Participate. Look out for one another. Go easy on each other. Your togetherness, the pros far outweigh the cons. When you come together and you bear a little bit of patience, everyone is different. People's temperament, some are hot-blooded, some are sweet, some are easygoing, some are very difficult, some are relatively narcissistic. It happens. That's what makes up society. And others, mashallah, they are so, willing to do everything. Some don't want to participate. That's attitude. That's what Allah gives you a reward for. Are you going to interact with all the people? You're going to try your best. That's why you have a reward. If you want to only interact with your type of person, it's not going to happen. Because even with you, you'll have a difference of opinion with those closest to you. It's okay. We will get along. We will see how best. You know someone's temperament. So treat them accordingly. You know, certain people, you need to keep a small distance, keep it. But that doesn't mean you don't respect them and you don't look out for them and you don't honor them. When society is close-knit, the benefits far outweigh the harms. Remember this. Same applies to families. It's not easy to live in an extended family, but the benefits far outweigh the harms. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. But when you grow older, you'll never regret it. Your children get married, you grow, you see things happening, people are on the deen, people care for each other. There is a sense of belonging today across the globe, and I travel a lot. I noticed that if you want to take Islam away from people, you only have to take away their sense of identity. Separate them, that's it. Once you manage to get one guy out, the other guy out there, the other guy out there, the other one there, khalas. What happens? You manage to weaken them. They no longer have a sense of belonging, they're on their own. When you're on your own, what happens? Here comes the wolf, and it can eat all of you because one by one, you're gone. But when you're together, you can't. Today, the ummah is struggling. Why? Because we are not together. That's the true reason. If all of us stood together, all nations stood together, and all of us stood firm with each other and tolerated some of the differences that we have in order to achieve the greater benefit, no one would dare touch a member of the ummah, because they know, if I touch this guy, there's 2 billion people coming after me. But they're touching him because they know nobody's going to come after him, after us. Because you know what? We've already managed to make them feel disconnected from each other. So connect. And inshallah, respect each other, greet each other, serve each other, and you will find lots and lots of benefit. I'm happy to be here. I sense a lot of goodness, and inshallah we will witness further growth. In a few years' time, you're going to need to expand this masjid. And may Allah grant us acceptance. May Allah protect the community and your children as well, and your generations to come, and all of us in the ummah. And may Allah Almighty protect our brothers and sisters in Gaza, in Palestine, in Syria, in so many other countries where they are suffering, places we know, places we don't know. May Allah protect them. May Allah grant them victory and goodness. May Allah Almighty be there for them. And may Allah Almighty protect all of us and our loved ones. أقول قولي هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.